When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's Group Therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Wendy reaching out saying, hey, Ben and Kelly, I hope you can help me. My situation isn't scandalous like many of your group therapy segments. Mm-hmm. No one's cheating. No one has the hots for their brother-in-law's friend. She knows the drill.
Okay.
Here it is. Just simply, my fiancé has called me by his late wife's name on multiple occasions lately. Initially, I was understanding, tried to empathize with his grief and the memories he has of her, but it kind of keeps happening. Now, she's been gone for 3 years. We have been together for almost a year. The first 10 months of our relationship, this never happened, not once. Mm-hmm. Now it's happened 5 times in the last month. We're getting married in 3 months. And I wonder if our wedding date is triggering this. Mm-hmm. So then if it is, what does that mean? Is he not over her? Does he have guilt for marrying me? Is it best to at least postpone the wedding? A part of me is wondering if maybe he's never going to get over her enough to fully give his heart away to someone else. No one I know has any experience with this. Will I always be the woman he had to settle for because his one true love died?
Oh, gosh.
I don't want to be that for anyone. I want to be someone's first and only true love, not a companion that they settled for to live out their days with. Mm-hmm. Do I do nothing? Postpone the wedding or realize that I need to keep looking? Thanks, Wendy.
Wow. I don't have any experience in this. I know grief is a thing that is unique to everybody. So how you handle it is unique. So I don't know. I mean, has anybody been through this? I think I would toss that back to our listeners.
Yeah, someone that's been in that situation. Now, as far as, she's feeling like she's someone that he's settling for just because, his first choice is no longer there. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I mean, he can love her just as much in a different way, though.
Yeah, I will say already on Facebook, there are several that are checking in and saying, look, like Jess said, I call my family by the wrong name all the time. I feel like you're making a big deal out of nothing. And then Bobby agrees, saying, I call my one son by our dog's name more than his given name. I have no idea why I do this. I love them both, though.
Dog's name.
And I'm certainly not thinking my son is the dog.
Right, yes.
And I've called my husband by my ex-husband's name, and we laugh it off. If anything, Bobby continues, if anything, I feel sorry for this poor guy because his fiancé is considering breaking up with him and hasn't even discussed the issue. To me, that's the red flag.
Okay. Kimberly says, well, you clearly are not the first. Mm-hmm. He's already had that with her, but that doesn't mean that you won't be his last true love. You're thinking too much into it. Heck, y'all have only been together a year. Don't get upset about little things now. If you do, you won't get to experience the amazing things later once the relationship truly gets going.
Now, I just thought of this as you were saying that. Is that if you take the D word out of this, if you take death out of this, if that was just an ex and he was calling you by his ex's name, does that make it different?
It does a little, I think, because if she was an ex, then that would have been maybe a choice to not be with her. He didn't get the choice to not be with her anymore.
All right. I guess you're right.
So I think that's where she's concerned that he's never going to get over her because, again, she was kind of ripped away from him.
All right. 502-795-1997 is our number. Group therapy is the segment, and would love to hear your story about how you dealt with this sort of thing.
It's tough, but I don't think that this means that he can't love you the way he loved her.
Right.
Or as much.
All right. 502-795-1997.
I don't think there's any problem with it. He's never going to be over his deceased wife. He's always going to love her. It wasn't a choice that he decided to not be with her anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
He will never be over her. He'll always love her just the same. However, I think it's almost like not an intentional compliment, but I would take it as a compliment because obviously he loves Wendy close to how he loved his deceased spouse. So I feel like it's not an insult. It shouldn't be hurtful. He probably has his deceased spouse up on a pedestal, and apparently Wendy is very close to her.
Yeah.
You know, he's
I
never
like
going to
that.
lose the love for her. He's
That's a
never
really
going to
good way
lose
of
the
looking
love
at it.
for her. So I feel like that it shouldn't be something that you're insulted by or upset about. Like, it's not a competition.
Right.
Obviously, she's gone, and you know, he's never going to love her just the same. It's just going to be different. It can be just as much, but
Yes.
it'll just be different.
Yes, I really agree with what you're saying, because he's never going to replace her in his heart with
Right.
Wendy. He's going to, Wendy's
Right.
going to have to realize that she's, sharing him a little bit. There's a little part of her
Right.
that's sharing him, and always will. And I think it's not in a bad way.
Well, thank you, Brooke.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have a good day.
Andrew, the Love Doctor, what's your take on this?
You guys are right. This is tough. A couple of things. You guys made a great point earlier. It is different if the individual, the ex, is widowed or is deceased versus being alive. That makes it obviously a lot of difference because there was no choice there. But my question is, has this guy gone to therapy, for being widowed? Has he sought therapy out for grief? I mean, that would be my first question. And as far as she goes, I wouldn't give up on the marriage or give up on him, but what she needs to do and he needs to do is get into therapy and do it right now. They need professional help. They need somebody who has an actual degree, and it's not somebody like me just giving an opinion on really what needs to be happening and what's going on. Because unless you talk with him on how he's feeling about this grief, then there's no way to really know right now.
Andrew, I'm a little upset that you don't consider Kelly and my advice to be professional.
Well, if I didn't love you guys, I consider it to be about as professional as mine. But hey,
All right, I got it.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
keep on loving, guys.
All right.
Got a text message. I'm texting in from the experience of being the grieving widow who is now in a new relationship. Although I've never called my new fiance either the wrong name, it's not that it hasn't popped in my head or almost happened many, many, many times. It's not that I don't love and appreciate this person at all. It's just habit when you've been with someone for so long, as I was with my husband for over 28 years.
Oh, geez.
So yes, their name is still in your head because you're always still grieving, no matter if you found a new love or not. But it definitely doesn't take away from how much I love the new person in my life to totally different relationships. But I love them both dearly.
I think that's a great point, and that's something that Brooke needs to hear. So
yes,
that
100%. They're different relationships.
Perfect. Way to sum that up. That was good. All right. Well, hey, thank you for all the calls. And Brooke, hey, we feel for you, your situation,
But I hope this gives you hope and makes you feel better and more secure in your situation.
Exactly. All right. There you go. That is group therapy. Keep us posted.